All right, let's get this thing started. Welcome, everybody, to Columbus, Ohio, famously the Horseshoe, as Ohio State hosts Michigan in another instance of the game. Both of these teams illustrious, of course, blue bloods in every sense of the word. Ohio State coming in with 2 losses, Michigan currently undefeated. Let's see how this goes. Both teams sending their captains out to midfield. Michigan will be calling the toss. They call heads, and it is heads. Michigan elects to defer. Ohio State will be receiving the football. Ross Dixon, the kicker for the Wolverines. He kicks it deep into the Buckeye end zone, but they elect to return. Jared Wiggs is the returner, and he is only able to get out to his own 13 before he is brought down. RG5, the quarterback for Ohio State. First down. Griffin drops back, looking for Maple short. He finds him for 4. Second down, Griffin looks deep for Trumaine Delaney, but this one sails over his head. Granted, he was covered anyway. 3rd and 6, Griffin drops back to pass. He's scrambling, trying to make something happen, but he is just forced to throw this one away. Michigan with a stop early. Sam Sledge, the punter for the Buckeyes. Mitchell returning for the Wolverines. Sledge's punt is deep. This one's going about 61 yards, excuse me. And Mitchell elects to return. He has a ton of space. He has speed as well. And he is able to cross midfield before he is brought down. 31-yard return. Will Duncan, of course, the leader of the Wolverines, one of the best in the nation. On first down, they run it up the middle for Lucifer Pierce, but he is stuffed for a gain of 1. 2nd and 9, they look for Greg Smith on a screen, and he only manages 4. 3rd and 5. Duncan back to pass, looking for Wells, but this is incomplete. Great coverage by Ohio State, and another 3 and out. Corey Newman punting for Michigan. And this punt sails into the end zone. Ohio State will be getting the ball back on their own 20. RG5 looking for Delaney over the middle. He finds him. Delaney easily gets the first down. Gain of 16. Next play, looking for Landon Miller short. He gets 4. 2nd and 6. Griffin looking for Trumaine Delaney again, but it is incomplete. 3rd and 6. Griffin looking deep into Bobby Robinson, who beat his man, but it is overthrown. RG5 is going to want that one back. And just like that, we are going to have another punt. Oh, never mind. Ohio State is keeping the offense on the field. 4th and 6 on their own 40. It looks like they're going to go for this. Leaving everything on the field in this one. Griffin back to pass, no, to draw. Michigan did not expect draw. Robert Maples gets it, and he easily gets the first. Gain of 10. They get to midfield on an absolutely incredible play call by the Buckeyes. What a play. What a decision. The Buckeyes sideline is pumped. On the next play, Griffin hands it off to Brantley up the middle, but he is stopped for a gain of nothing. 2nd and 10, outside run. Josh Bauer this time, and he gets the first. Gain of 13. Griffin hands it off up the middle to Brantley. He gets 1. On the next play, they hand it off up the middle to Brantley again. This one more successful. He gets 7, making it 3rd and 2 on the Michigan 29. Griffin looking on a corner out for Day, and he finds him. Gain of 13, but there is a flag. It's going to be holding on Ohio State's Noah Coleman. Instead of converting and getting inside the red zone, it is now 3rd and 12. Ohio State, they like their draw plays. It's what they do on 3rd and long. It's Brantley And although it's a nice gain, he gets 9. He does not get it, making it 4th and 3 on the Michigan 30. And Ohio State is not testing their luck again. On comes the field goal unit. Vincent Rollins, the kicker for Ohio State. His kick is up, and it is shanked. Not even close to the upright. This one way right. Michigan will be getting the ball back again. First down. Duncan hands it off up the middle to Austin. He gets 6. On the next play, outside around loose for Pierce. He makes one guy miss, crosses midfield, gets a bit more for a gain of 15. Now in the Buckeye 42. Duncan back to pass, looking for Greg Smith, but he is well covered. This one incomplete. 2nd and 10. They're looking for Smith again. This time he's wide open. He catches it easily, makes one guy miss, makes another miss, and is finally brought down for the safety gain of 20. Next one, Duncan keeps it himself, and he is hit hard. The ball is out. The ball is out. There is a pile. Let's see who gets it. And it is a Buckeye uniform with the ball. Justin Frey recovers the fumble. Both teams now have been in position and not been able to convert. Ohio State with the ball. 5 minutes left in the first quarter. On first down, they hand it off to Robert Maples, and he finds a hole, easily gets the first gain of 13. And let's see, Michigan. Someone's having a meltdown. Looks like somebody threw a punch. The sidelines are coming off. We have a fight in the first quarter of the game. I can't believe this. Referees trying to get control on the field. There's a streaker now on the field. Absolute pandemonium. Refs trying to decide what they're going to do. The streaker actually had the Big 12 logo on their chest. So we were going to have to investigate that. Turns out this is going to be a flag on Michigan. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Nick Monson. He is the one that started this. And it is now Ohio State's ball on Michigan's 44. Crazy. Griffin, first down, looking for Robinson on a short route. He gets 5. 2nd and 5, Griffin. Short pass to Landon Miller. He gets 3, making it 3rd and 2. Next play, they hand it off outside to Josh Bauer. Michigan sent the house. They had nobody on the outside. Bauer, he's going to run. There's nobody in front of him. He is gone. 36 yards to the house. Ohio State strikes first. 3 minutes 27 left in the first quarter. Rollins back on the field after his miss earlier, but this extra point is perfect. 7-0 Buckeyes. Rollins staying on the field to kick off. Andy Sims, the returner for Michigan. Rollins unable to get this one to the end zone, and Sims will return it. It's a beautiful return. He makes one guy miss before he's finally brought down. Michigan will be starting on their own 35. First down, Duncan finds Pierce short for 6, but there are flags on the field. Going to be holding on Sean Wells of Michigan. Just like that, 1st and 20. Duncan back to pass. Screen pass to Greg Smith, but it is a gain of nada. 0 yards, 2nd and 20. Duncan hands it off to Jim Austin up the middle, and he gets 7, but there are flags again. And, I haven't seen this one very commonly. Too many men on the field on Michigan. But Ohio State declines it. They want 3rd and 13. On 3rd and 13, Michigan elects to go for the draw. They get nothing. They are punting again. 4th and 13 on the Wolverine 32. Corey Newman, he is not happy with this punt. It only goes 37 yards, and Wiggs does return it. Seems like Michigan was not ready for this punt to turn out the way it did. Wiggs is able to go untouched for 15 before he is finally brought down. Ohio State will be starting this drive on their own 46. This next play will be the last of the quarter. Griffin hands it off up the middle to Brantley. He gets 5. And that is the end of the first period. As we enter the second quarter, it is Ohio State 7-0, and they have the ball just over midfield. Coach Rich seemingly unhappy with their declining of the penalty earlier. But it does not matter. Griffin looking short for Larry Davis. He gets 4, making it 3rd and 1. And there are flags before the snap. A lot of flags so far in this one. It's going to be a false start on Ohio State. David O'Connor gets dinged for it. Accepted, of course, making it 3rd and 6 at midfield. Griffin looking for Landon Miller on a screen. Ohio State likes their screen passes, and it hasn't been working. This one also does not work. Loss of 1 on 3rd down. 4th and 7, Sam Sledge back on to punt. And this is a tremendous punt. It goes out of bounds at the 4. Michigan unable to have a chance to return it. Beautiful stuff from Ohio State special teams unit. On 1st down, Duncan on a quick pass finds Smith for 5. They're going hurry up. Duncan finds Wells up the sideline for 11. They are now at their own 20. 1st down. They hand it up the middle to Jim Austin, but he is stuffed. Next one, outside run to Edivaldo, but he only gets a yard. 3rd and 9. Play action here. Looking for Smith past the first down marker, and he gets it. Heck of a grab. He was kind of covered, but the window was tight. Duncan found it, and Smith hauled it in. 1st down, Wolverines. Next one, Duncan looking up the middle for Wells. He gets 11, another 1st down. They hand it off up the middle to Jim Austin. He only gets a yard. Next play, they try it again. Slightly better. He gets 2, 3rd and 7. This next play is a draw. Loose for Pierce, and they get the 1st. Gain of 9. 1st down, Michigan, as they cross midfield. Duncan looking for Greg Smith on a corner route past the 1st down marker. It's complete again. Gain of 13. Next play, Duncan hands it off to Lucifer Pierce. Gain of 2. 2nd and 8. Duncan looking deep for Greg Smith. Double covered, but Smith hauls it in. 23 yards. 1st and goal. On the next one, they hands it off outside Jim Austin, who makes one guy miss and gets into the end zone. 7 yards, touchdown, Michigan. Ross Dixon's extra point is up and good. The game is tied. 7 minutes 43 left in the second quarter. Tie game. Excuse me. All right. Dixon stays on to kick off. And this kickoff only gets to 5. Jared Wiggs of Ohio State returns at 25 yards. They will be starting on their own 30. They hand it up the middle to Kareem Brantley, but he's stuffed. No gain. 2nd and 10. Griffin looking for Maples on a slant route, and he gets 8, making it 3rd and 2. Griffin hands it off to Maples up the middle, and he easily gets the 1st down. Gain of 7. 1st down, Griffin looking for Delaney, incomplete. 2nd and 10, Griffin finds Larry Davis on the sideline for a gain of 6. 3rd and 4. They are now at the Michigan 34. Griffin looking for Day in the end zone, but he is covered. This one incomplete. Vincent Rollins looks like he is coming on to attempt the 51-yarder. As we all remember, he missed one earlier in the game from 47. Can he make this one? This kick is up. It has the line. I don't know if it has the leg, and it comes up short. Another missed field goal from the Buckeyes. Michigan will be starting on their own 41. 4 minutes, 14 left in the quarter. Duncan runs it up the middle for 4. 2nd and 6. Duncan looking for Sullivan on a stick route. 5-yard gain, make it 3rd and 1 at midfield. Ooh. All right. Next one. Duncan hands it off up the middle to Pierce, and he easily gets the first and a lot more, gain of 10. Can you guys hear me? Okay, it's an Everest problem. Perfect. There's a Wolverine O lineman down. It is Jonathan Medina. You hate to see that. Next play, Duncan looking deep for Austin on a post route, and he hauls it in. Beautiful grab there, gain of 26 as we hit the 2-minute warning. Michigan on the Ohio State 14. Duncan looking into the end zone, but this is jumped. Ty Lawson for Ohio State picks it off. What a play by the Buckeye defense. Another turnover from Michigan in Ohio State territory. What a play. Ohio State will be starting this one on their own 6. Let's see if Ohio State can score one more time and break the tie before halftime. On first down, RG5 handing off up the middle to Maples. He gets 5, but there is a flag. They're going to get Bill Brown of Ohio State on a chop block. That is half the distance to the goal. 1st and 13. On the next play, they hand it off up the middle again. Beautifully blocked. Kareem Brantley easily rushes through the hole. He gets 11, making it 2nd and 2. 59 seconds left now in the quarter. Next one, Griffin back to pass, and he is brought down for a loss of 6 by Michigan's Quack Fam. And Ohio State, despite it being 3rd and 8 deep in their own territory, uses their first time out. 3rd and long, it's a draw to Kareem Brantley, and I can't tell if he got the first. He did. Gain of 8, Ohio State going hurry up. On the next play, Griffin back to pass, looking for Bauer, the pass over his head. But there is a Buckeye down in the backfield. It is running back Robert Maples. He is hurt. 2nd and 10. Hands it off up the middle to Larry Davis. He only gets a yard, but there are flags all over the field. It looks like there are flags on both teams. A holding on Michigan's Jordan Dennis, but this is overruled by an unnecessary roughness on Ohio State's Kareem Brantley. Michigan gets off lightly there. This one now 2nd and 18. They hand off up the middle to Brantley. He gets nothing. And despite it being 3rd and 18, Ohio State uses their second timeout. Next one, RG5 on 3rd and long. They pass it to Robinson up the middle, but he only gets 8. 4th and 10, 38 seconds left in the quarter. And Ohio State uses their last timeout of the half. They want Michigan to have a chance. I have no idea what's happening on the Buckeye sideline right now. Sam Sledge back on to punt. He has been great today so far, and it is another great punt. 58 yards. Colin Mitchell will return this one, and he is able to get 16 yards before he gets out of bounds. Michigan ball on their own 42, 27 seconds left. Let's see. Are they going to try to get a score here? On first down, they hands it off up the middle to Austin, gain of 3, but they do use their first timeout. Seems like they are trying. 2nd and 7. They run it with Pierce. He loses a yard. They go hurry up. 3rd and 8. Duncan looking for Jim Austin up the sideline, and he gets him. Gain of 11. First down. They are now at the Buckeye 45, 16 seconds left. Duncan looking for Sean Wells, but this one is at his feet. Bad throw. 2nd and 10, 10 seconds left. They run it up the middle with Pierce. He gets 9. And with 5 seconds left in the half, Michigan uses their second timeout. Ross Dixon is coming on to attempt a 53-yard field goal. Excuse me. Let's see. Of course, Ohio State has missed 2 field goals today. Can Michigan make theirs? Dixon's kick is up. It has the leg, but it is drifting, and it barely misses wide left. As we hit halftime, the score 7-7. As a reminder, Michigan will be the ones getting the kickoff in the third quarter. All right. I'm going to take a couple seconds, get a sip of water, and then we will get into the second half. All right, we are back. As a reminder, the score 7-7, but the kickers on both sides have been costing them. Coaches all around the country learning the importance of having elite kicking today. All right, Vincent Rollins kicking off for Ohio State. He is unable to get this one to the end zone, only gets to the 9, and Andy Sims returns this 21 yards for Michigan. They will be starting on their own 30. First down. Flag just as the ball is snapped. Looks like this may have been an offsides. They hand it off to Lucifer Pierce. He gets the first down gain of 11, and it was indeed offsides on Ohio State's Dominique Williams. Of course, that is that is declined. Next play, Duncan looking deep for Greg Smith, and he's open. He catches it. Smith in a foot race to the end zone with the safety. The safety does bring him down, but that's a gain of 33. Just like that, Michigan already into Buckeye territory. They hand it off up the middle to Pierce on first down. He gets a yard. 2nd and 9 at the Buckeye 25. Duncan hands it off to Jim Austin on the next play outside, and he gets 8, making it 3rd and 1. Duncan, it's play action here, but Ohio State was ready for the fake. They bring down Will Duncan in the backfield. Andrew Russell gets the sack. And Ross Dixon is back on the field to attempt another field goal. This one will be a 36-yarder. As a reminder, the two teams combined are 0 for 3 on kicks. This is the closest one by far, though. Dixon's kick is up, and it is good. 10-7, Michigan leads. Dixon stays on to kick off. Another kick that doesn't get to the end zone. Gets to the 7. Wiggs will return it. Wiggs is fast. He's running up the sideline. He makes one guy miss, turns the corner, spins out another guy. He is going. He could be gone. Only the kicker to beat. Wiggs looks like he's beating out the kicker. He does. Jared Wiggs is gone. Kickoff return touchdown for Ohio State. They strike back immediately. What a play. Vincent Rollins' extra point is up and good. 14-10 now the score. Ohio State strikes back. Rollins kicks it off to the 3. Sims, a nice return. Not nearly as good as the last one we just saw, but he gets us out 26 yards. Michigan will be starting on their own 29. First down, Duncan looking for Sullivan, incomplete. 2nd and 10. Duncan keeps it himself on a QB draw, but he's brought down in the backfield. Loss of 2. 3rd and 12. Michigan elects to go with the draw. Loose for Pierce, and he is stuffed. Gain of 1. Michigan already going to punt. Corey Newman, the punter for Michigan. And this is a good punt, better than a couple of his previous ones. 48 yards. Jared Wiggs does return it, the electric returner. He gets 10. Ohio State will be starting on their own 34. RG5, first down, hands it off to Kareem Brantley up the middle. He gets 4. Next play, Griffin looking for Delaney, incomplete. 3rd and 6. Griffin looking for Tremaine Delaney again. This one complete. First down, gain of 13. As Ohio State crosses midfield. Excuse me. All right. Griffin hands it up the middle to Brantley. He loses 4. 2nd and 14. Griffin back to pass. He's looking for Delaney deep again, and he gets him. Delaney gets 16 yards, first down. And Ohio State uses their first timeout of the half. First down, Ohio State at the Michigan 37. First down, Griffin back to pass. Who else would he be looking for? It's Tremaine Delaney, but this one incomplete. 2nd and 10. They hand it off to Kareem Brantley up the middle. He gets 4. 3rd and 6. They run it up the middle again with Brantley. He gets 3. 4th and 3 on the Michigan 30. Vincent Rollins coming back onto the field. He has missed kicks of 47 and 51 already. This one is going to be a 47-yard attempt. Let's see. Will it go better this time for Rollins? This kick is up, and JT, you nailed it. He makes it. Right down the middle. 10-17 now the score. Ohio State leads by 7. 4 minutes 55 left in the third quarter. Rollins kicks it off to the 5. Sims returns at 22 yards. Michigan will be starting this drive on their own 27. Duncan hands it off to Austin up the middle. He gets nothing. 2nd and 10. Looks like an option play. Duncan keeps it himself. He gets 5. 3rd and 5. Outside run on a stretch run here. Pierce, he gets the first down and a bit more. Gain of 12. Next one. Play action. Duncan looking for Austin. He's wide open. Gets the first down. Finally brought down by the safety. Gain of 21. Michigan now at the Buckeye 35. They hand it off to Pierce up the middle, but he is stuffed for a loss of 3. 2nd and 13, same play. Run up the middle of Pierce, and he gets the yards back. Gain of 3, 3rd and 10. Duncan back to pass, and he is frustrated. He's trying to make something happen in the backfield, but he is sacked by Ohio State's Patrick Diamond, loss of 7. Rather than attempt the 59-yard field goal, Michigan elects to punt. Corey Newman back on to punt. And this is a beautiful punt, 40 yards. But Jared Wiggs, of course, returns it, and he returns it 14 yards. 9 seconds left in the quarter. Ohio State will be starting on their own 16. First down, RG5 passing, looking for Miller, but he is covered. This one incomplete. 2nd and 10, Griffin looking over the middle for Delaney, but he is also covered. This one's incomplete. As we enter the final period of play, the score 17-10 Ohio State. 3rd and 10 for them on their own 16. Ohio State, 3rd and long. They've been doing these draws all day. It's another one. They hand it off to Kareem Brantley, and he is stuffed to gain him nothing, and they are electing to punt. Sam Sledge, the punter for Ohio State, he has been great today, and this is another good punt. 51 yards, but Colin Mitchell will return it, and he makes one guy miss before he is finally brought down after a gain of 17. Michigan will be starting this drive on their own they are starting at midfield. There's no such thing as your own 50. However, before they start, they will be going back into their own territory because there is a false start penalty on Jalen Holick. 1st and 15. They hand it off up the middle to They hand it off up the middle to Austin. He gets 12 on 1st down, making it 2nd and 3. Duncan play action, looking for McCauley up the sideline. He's open 19 yards before he is brought down. Next play, Duncan back to pass, but he is brought down almost immediately in the backfield. Another sack for Patrick Diamond. Loss of 3. On the next one, 2nd and 13, they hand it off to Lucifer Pierce up the middle, and this one's blocked beautifully. Pierce able to truck the linebacker before he's brought down. Powerful run there. He gets 11. 3rd and 2. Michigan, they go with the screen pass to Pierce, and he is brought down at the line of scrimmage. 4th and 2 on the Buckeyes 16, down 7 in the game. Of course, they will go for it. What will they do here? My guess personally is a run up the middle with Pierce. Seems to be their favorite play. And it looks like a run. No, play action. Duncan. Bootleg. He's scrambling. He's trying to find something. Nothing's open. And he just chucks it up. Donald Sullivan's in the end zone. Triple coverage down there. And rather than pick it off, Ohio State elects to let it drop. Botched play on the 4th down. Ohio State ball. Absolutely huge for the Ohio State. 11 minutes 46 left in the ball game. RG5 back to pass, looking for Robinson up the middle. He gets 8. 2nd and 2. RG5 looking for Delaney up the sideline. He catches it. Delaney gets 15. Next play, they run up the middle with Brantley. He gets 3. 2nd and 7, same thing. Brantley up the middle, 3. 3rd and 4. RG5, they play action to Brantley. They're looking for Michael Day deep, and he catches it. He is brought down at the sideline, but that is after a gain of 23. Ohio State now at the Michigan 32. Next play, they hand it off to Patterson outside, and he gets the 1st down and a bit more, 14 yards into the Wolverine end zone. Griffin hands it off to Bauer. He gets 5. Next play, RG5 throws it to Tremaine Delaney on a screen. Delaney runs forward. He gets 8. But as he's hit, I think the ball might have come out. I'm not entirely sure. If it did, Delaney recovered his own fumble. They will review it because it's going to affect where the ball is spotted. He is just short of the end zone regardless. It looks like Delaney did indeed fumble the ball, but he recovered his own fumble. Interesting sequence there. It is going to be Ohio State's ball on the Michigan 2. They line up in a power formation. They hand it up the middle to Bauer, and he follows the fullback in. Touchdown, Ohio State. They go up 2 scores here. Rollins on the field to attempt the extra point. It is up and good. And there is a Michigan D lineman down on the extra point. This is going to be D lineman Tyvon Body. You hate to see that. 2-score lead now for the Buckeyes. 7 minutes 23 left in the ballgame. Michigan needs to score here. Rollins kicks off. He gets it to the 3. Andy Sims returns it from Michigan. He's been good returning today, but not so much on this one. He only gets 15. Michigan will be starting on their own 18. Excuse me. Duncan, back to pass, looking for Jim Austin over the middle, and he gets him. Gain of 19. Next one, Duncan looking deep again. Sean Wells, and he finds him again. Gain of 20. They are already across midfield. Duncan looking for McCauley here, incomplete. 2nd and 10. Duncan looking deep for McCauley again, and he hauls it in. Deep into the red zone, 34-yard gain, just like that. 1st and goal at the 9. Duncan looking for Jim Austin in the end zone. He is open. Touchdown, Michigan. One of the quickest drives you'll ever see. Michigan strikes back. Ross Dixon's extra point is up and good. 5 minutes 51 left in the quarter. That drive, about a minute and a half. 24-17 the score. Dixon's kick is a touchback. Ohio State, of course, starting on their own 25. First down, they run it, of course, but Kareem Brantley is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10, they elect to pass. Griffin looking for his favorite target, Tremaine Delaney, incomplete. 3rd and long, I bet it's going to be another Ohio State draw. It is, and Michigan was ready. They get 4, but Ohio State will be punting. Sam Sledge, his worst punt of the day, 47 yards. Colin Mitchell returns at 6 yards. Michigan will get their chance to tie the game. 4 minutes, 1 second left in the ballgame. Michigan starting at their own 30. You need to score here. Duncan hands it off up the middle to Jim Austin. He gets 6. 2nd and 4. Duncan back to pass, leading deep for McCauley again. He, of course, had a big catch last time, but this one incomplete. 3rd and 4. It's an end around to McCauley, and he gets the first down. 8-yard gain. However, the Michigan showing their own clock. Only 2 minutes, 33 seconds left. They're at their own 44. They hand off outside. Loose for Pierce. He gets 11 and, importantly, gets out of bounds. Next play, Duncan looking over the middle for McCauley on a slant route, and he finds him. Gain of 13 as we hit the 2-minute warning. They are now at the Buckeye 32, 1st down. Here we go. Duncan 1st down, looking deep. Eric McCauley again, but it is incomplete. 2nd and 10. Duncan looking for Sean Wells over the middle. He gets it, gets the first down. Gain of 11. We are now at the Buckeye 21. 1 minute 46 left. First down, Duncan back to pass, looking for Sean Wells, incomplete. 2nd and 10. Duncan back to pass. No one's open. He's trying to make something happen, and he is sacked. 3rd and 14 upcoming. Will Norris, the sack for Ohio State. 3rd and 14. Of course, they're going to pass the ball. Duncan finds Jim Austin for a gain of 10 up the middle, but he's hit hard. The ball is out. Another fumble. It's a pileup. If Ohio State gets the ball, this game would be all but over. The refs are trying to figure out who has the ball, and Ohio State recovers it. Luke Ramsey of the Buckeyes gets the ball and it is their ball on their own 19. 1 minute 16 left. Michigan does have all 3 of their timeouts. So this one is not over. First down, RG5 hands it up the middle to Brantley. He gets 6. Michigan, of course, uses their first charge timeout. 2nd and 4. Play action. Griffin electing to pass it. And Griffin, he just dumps this off. He doesn't want to make a mistake. But Ohio State just saved Michigan a timeout. 3rd and 4. They run it up the middle to Brantley. He is stuffed after a gain of 2. Excuse me. It looks like Brantley ran outside, actually, and got to the sideline. 4th and 2 on the Buckeye 27, 1:07 left, and Michigan has 2 of their timeouts. Ohio State, when they need to run down this clock, elected to have a pass and an outside run, and their guy got out. Michigan will have a chance. Sam Sledge punting here, and this is a deep punt, 50 yards, and Mitchell does return it. Looks like he gets about 15, but there are flags. It's going to be holding on Andy Sims of Michigan. This one accepted, of course. Michigan, 59 seconds left on their own 20. On first down, Duncan back to pass, and he is brought down right away by Andrew Russell in the backfield. 3-yard sack. Michigan uses their second timeout. Next one, Duncan looking for Lucifer Pierce, incomplete. Next play, 3rd and 13. Duncan looking again on a short pass to Pierce. He gets it. It's a gain of 5. But he was tackled inbounds. Michigan uses their last timeout. It is 4th and 8. Duncan back to pass. Nothing's open. He just throws this one up into double coverage. Looking for Colin Mitchell. But it is batted down, incomplete. Turnover on downs, and the game is over. Ohio State wins the game 24-17. What a ball game. Michigan had nearly 200 more passing yards than the Buckeyes, but 3 turnovers and an Ohio State kick return touchdown got the Buckeyes the win. What a game, eh?